This conference will now be recorded.
Well, thank you all for joining me for another edition of our virtual business networking activity. Basically, the agenda is real simple and has just three parts. The first part is I'll mute everybody and then unmute you one at a time so you can take a minute or two to introduce yourself to the rest of the group. Since we have people from different geographies, by the way, you may want to mention where you are geographically, again, the product or service that you provide, and maybe who would be a good referral for you from the other folks on the call. And then after we go through a round of introductions, I'm going to open it up for everybody, hoping that the introductions maybe triggered some questions that you want to ask or things you want to offer, just a little conversation amongst us all based on the introductions. And then after that, I usually try to keep it to somewhere between 30 and 60 minutes. After that, I'll open it up for general discussion. Before I started recording, we were talking a little bit about how our different businesses have been or not been affected by the coronavirus, how the coronavirus is faring in our particular geographic areas. But then again, any topic that is business related is fair game, and then after that, we'll hang it up. And we'll do it again in 2 weeks. So we do this every other week. So again, for the ones that have been here before, thank you very much for joining us again. And for the new folks, then welcome. All right.
We cannot hear you, so we can't hear you. Can you guys hear me? I cannot hear anybody suddenly. Is it me?
I can hear you, Alejandra.
I can hear you now. Okay, good.
Everybody's muted for your introduction.
Oh, got it. Okay, got it. No, I just couldn't hear Sal, and I figured that he introduced me because I always happen to be the lucky number one.
Okay, I'm gonna mute.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody. I'm just excited to be on the call here, and I just feel like there's a second family building here, and I'm loving what I see, and new friendships building along the way. So thank you, Sal, tremendously for the space that you provide every 2 weeks for us to build this community to help one another and network with each other and build new friendships. So thank you so much, Sal. But my name is Alejandra. I actually I'm an independent rep with the company's named ACM. And what ACM does is we market services that, essential services that people use every single day, from your electricity to your gas, all the way to your internet, or even merchant services for business owners. And what we do is I do two things. One is I help people save money on bills that are paying every single day. And two, and what's closest to my heart, I help everyday people generate a second stream of income, residual income on the services. And I do it globally. As a matter of fact, we just launched Peru. I actually just started a team in Mexico a couple of weeks ago, which is growing very rapidly. I'm having a lot of fun with that. Going massively into the UK right now with energy, and Spain again with energy. So those are two new markets that this week I am going to start focusing on a lot more. So who a great connection is for me is, one, anybody that is looking for a second stream of income or more time on their hands. But to be a little bit more specific on that, my niche and where I really, I'm able to help a lot of people are, for the most part, business owners. Business owners are owned by their businesses, for the most part, don't have residual income. So I can help business owners generate a second stream of income for their businesses. A lot of time they're already paying for these bills if they have locations, brick and mortars. I think in this pandemic time, I'm very sensitive about the fact that people are needing a second stream of income. But Another niche that doesn't probably come naturally to the thought of anyone is the real estate world. So I work very closely with real estate agents, brokers, because every single time they sell a house, that new homeowner has to set up services. So they are able to offer a one-stop shop for their clients, give a better client experience, and generate residual on that. But as well, brokers to offer a second stream of income for their agents, and also real estate investors and the like, property managers, etc., when they're onboarding tenants. I'm passionate about helping people, so I am really excited to actually, listen to what you guys all have to say, taking notes on every single type of good referral for you, and what is it that I can do to help you guys build your businesses and improve your businesses. And that's what I really am passionate about, positively impact somebody's life, at least one person a day, if more, better. I still don't hear Sal. Do you guys hear Sal? No, we're not hearing you, Sal.
Can you hear me, guys?
Yeah, I can hear you, Jack.
Okay. Yeah, I can't hear Sal. I don't. Yona, can you hear me? Monica? They seem to be muted too.
Yes, they hear you.
Okay. Sal had problems with a microphone he mentioned earlier, so I think he's working with his phone.
Yeah, that may be it.
I'm showing Sal's phone is muted.
All right, Sal just mentioned to me, I'll go ahead and introduce myself. He just asked me to do that. Yeah, my name is Jack. This is my second visit here. I also agree, Alejandra. We really owe a big vote of thanks to Sal, I'm sorry, for organizing this. This is great. And I'm actually in Fort Lauderdale, although I'm from the same area you guys all are. I believe most of you are up there in the Pittsburgh area. And I grew up in Upper St. Clair Township, and used to kid about it. Pittsburgh is a great place to be from, but I've got a lot of wonderful memories, and been a while since I've been back. I'm a bit overdue and look forward to getting back and hopefully meeting some of you all in person. My background's advertising marketing. I kind of consider myself a creative marketing specialist. I ran an ad agency for most of my business career, the better part of 25 years, specialized mostly in consumer advertising and some industrial advertising. And was able to leave that crazy world right after the turn of the century. I got involved with a similar business to Alejandra's, but I'm in the consumer products industry. She's more into the service industry, but we I represent now an Inc. 500 company, which is privately held. We're in our 35th year now. And it's a science-based manufacturing company that markets over 400 different products and services in the health and wellness field. We have actually evolved now into the largest private online wellness shopping club in North America. Over 400 products, everything except refrigerator items and paper goods. And we're not distributors. I don't sell products. After 15, 16 years, I've never sold a product, but I'm helping the company promote their brand. And one of the things I'm passionate about, I had a couple of statistics here, but one of the product lines we market is a product line called EcoSense, which are cleaning laundry products. But an EPA report came out recently stated that indoor air pollution is one of the nation's most important environmental health problems right now. And the Consumer Product Safety Commission reported that there's 150 common household chemicals that have been linked to allergies, birth defects, cancer, and psychological abnormalities, things like ADD and so forth. So I'm kind of passionate about promoting that, educating people about a better, safer product line. And, a good referral to me or for me would be somebody that's looking for better, safer products. Obviously, it's replacement shopping. It's not a buying decision. These are products you buy anyway. And like Alejandra, I'm also looking for people, because of the slowing economy right now, that are open to a plan B, looking to diversify and supplement their income a little bit. for me, that was an attraction after my family gave me the thumbs up that they loved the products. They felt there was value. And I just decided to help the company, again, promote their brand. And now we're actually taking market share from some pretty powerfully entrenched competitors like Procter & Gamble, Colgate-Palmolive, Lever Brothers, Slim Fast, companies like that. So that's kind of what I do. And I appreciate the time and look forward to getting to know all of you and anywhere I can help and you guys as far as develop customers. I'm happy to look forward to that as well. And I also will be taking notes. Thank you.
Jennifer, it's your turn, I believe. He's communicating via chat, I believe.
Hi, I own Jen Lau Agency. I do marketing, writing, business proposal writing, consulting. I've incubated some small companies to the next level, and I have a background in nonprofits also. Currently, I'm working with an entertainment production company and 2 authors. So I'm looking to, basically right now, the best referral for me would be an entertainment production company that I could partner with on some projects.
Okay, excellent. Can you guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I was having Microsoft did an upgrade, and I don't mind saying this and getting it recorded, and they screwed up the whole computer. It's amazing. And I actually use a Surface, which you would think is their flagship product. So if you figured they would test it and get it right on anything, it would be the Surface. But I guess not. So thank you very much, Microsoft. Monica, you get to go.
Excellent. Hi. So it sounds like Jen and I have a little bit of, or Jennifer, some of the same things. I am a digital marketer, and I own a company called Blitz B. So we are in the blitz of our life, constantly, checking off, running around like crazy people. And then our business is also about being. So who are we being in those moments when we do need to do our to-do list and check off the list, but focusing on who we're being. So similar to what Jack was saying, we're really interested in healthcare companies, health and wellness, and that's our favorite clients to work with because I have been in the health and wellness industry for quite some time, and so has my business partner. But we actually, because we are a full-service digital marketing agency, we can help anyone. So we have HVAC companies, we have plumbers, we have massage therapists, we have just a plethora of different clients, just depending on who needs services and who's interested. So we do social media marketing, we'll do ads and traffic, we do landing pages and websites and funnels. And so we do email campaigns, and so I hear that Jen does a little writing. We do some writing, and but more like copywriting and that thing for writing people's emails, content writing, for more of that kind of content. We start with, depending on the company, we'll start with an online audit, and we look at what does the company's online presence look like. So looking at their business name, and then where are they found on the internet? What does their story look like that is found? We had a client who had no idea what her online presence looked like, and she had changed addresses 3 times, phone numbers 3 times, and like websites 3 times. Well, it's not a wonder why people couldn't find her, because all 3 of those were out there, and so people were, able to find all 3 old email addresses, phone numbers, and websites. Well, she wasn't using any the older ones, but she just wasn't aware that once you put it out there on the internet, it's still there until you change it and until you do something different with it. So it was hard for her to get new clients and have new customers because of her online presence. So depending on how long the business has been around, we like to do an audit first, just because of things like that. If we do a bunch of marketing for them and they have, all kinds of websites out there, we don't want any information sent to the wrong place. Then we also like to look at the reputation, because so many people now are looking up reputation. So we want to pay attention to what our online reputation says. It's a huge place to go for, especially now because everybody's online because of COVID. So that is something that has changed. Our online reputation is a lot bigger than it used to be. So we also have a reputation, like a 5 stars in 5 days campaign, and different campaigns that will run depending on what clients need and depending on where they want to focus their marketing needs. So yeah, that's what we do, and we work with pretty much anybody.
Excellent. Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Okay, good. So before I let Yona go, just 2 things real quick. One is, don't forget to, if you want, put in the chat box your contact information or website links or anything that you want to share with the other folks here on the phone call, because later when I send you the link to the recording, I will also share the chat log. And number 2, Jack and I were talking about this on the phone earlier today. Since you know that we're doing this basically in lockstep every 2 weeks on Monday at 2 p.m., if you have a client or a friend or a business associate, whatever, anybody that you think that could benefit from joining us either on a one-off, on a regular basis, please feel free to let them know. Because again, I want this forum to be as useful and effective for everybody. So I don't mind if you invite other people. Just let me know so that I can make sure that we keep it to 10 people or less, so it doesn't go crazy. But other than that, feel free to use this forum in any way that can help you. So Yona, do you want to introduce yourself, please?
Can I be heard?
Yep.
Yeah.
So my name is Yona, as Sal said. Sal, again, thank you for introducing me to this group. I really appreciate it. I've already made some great connections and friendships. I am based out of New York City. I am 38 years old, married 17 years, and have 4 kids. That's what keeps me most occupied. In my spare time, I like to run my business. I say I am a financial advisor, but I realize that means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. When COVID-19 hit and I saw the unemployment numbers rise, it made me reevaluate just everything. It put a lot of things in perspective. And, Alejandra, you mentioned it, Jack, you mentioned about income. Income is something we always need. We all have needs, we all have wants, we all have goals, but it's all based from income. That's how we pay for those things. So I streamlined my practice from anything and everything to just focusing on 3 core products, which is life, disability, and long-term care insurance that help people protect their income. It's something I am personally passionate about. It's something I unfortunately know what it's like to not have those plans in place and the ramifications. My father passed away quite young, and my mom, great mom, love her to pieces. She tried her best, but as a single mom raising 5 kids, it was hard. So that's why I'm focusing on that. Let's see what else. I like to wear green. I'm a weird guy. I think, though, what makes me unique in the world that I live in financial services, I have no shame, meaning I have no problem asking the uncomfortable questions, because my goal is not to sell you a product and say, have a nice day. My goal is to figure out what are your needs, what are your wants, what are your goals, and what are your abilities to fulfill those, and how I can best help you. So if I can't properly help you, then I'm not doing you a favor. And the whole point of it is to be of service. So I appreciate Sal again introducing me to this group. Again, my name's Yona, and I'm based out of New York.
Excellent.
Awesome.
Well, I from my side, and I'll do it again just in case, I have everybody unmuted. So does anybody have any questions or comments for anybody else based on the introductions? You may have to unmute yourself from your side. So any comments or questions from anybody to anybody based on the introduction?
I just have a quick comment, Sal, if you can hear me. This is Jack. I don't know what happened to my photo. Every time I go to the chat room, I somehow lose my picture. So just so you can hear me.
We can hear you.
Okay. It said I've left the meeting, but I haven't. So anyway.
Oh, and Alejandra, I think you've muted yourself.
Yeah, I was muted, but I'm saying we can see you. You look frozen, but we can hear you perfectly, Jack.
Okay. Okay. Good.
And you look very elegant no matter what, even if you're standing still. Actually, one of the things I like about this particular meeting that we're having today is we have a nice representation from people in different parts of the country, because I know Yona's up in New York, Alejandra's up here in Pittsburgh, and I'm in Ohio near Pittsburgh. Monica, I know you're in the sort of the Great Lakes near Chicago. Is that true, or am I getting that backwards? That is true. Okay, you're muted from your side.
Yeah, our company is based out of Chicago, and so because we're a digital marketing company, we can be anywhere. So I'm in Michigan right now.
There you go. And Jack, I know, is down in Florida. I don't know. I think he's got the best deal out of all of us.
Yeah, in a few months maybe, but right now you can fry eggs on the sidewalk. It's so doggone hot down here.
I mean, who doesn't want 90 degrees and humidity right now?
Yeah, exactly. Jeez. But no hurricanes yet.
I know Jack was starting to talk a little bit about this, and maybe a two-part question for anybody that wants to answer it. Have you seen a negative or maybe even positive impact on your business now that we've been at this coronavirus thing? I'm going to say almost 5 months. I'm going to say, because here in the U.S., I kind of think about it getting really serious maybe the middle of March, and now we're getting close to the middle of August. And then two, in your particular geography, how are things going? Anybody want to take a crack at that?
Oh, I can definitely take a long crack at that. Just because my sole focus since COVID-19 hit, when it was really beginning to take its toll on, the United States, my business has been totally affected, not positively, not negatively, just by what the conversations I had, because income is on everyone's mind. It's on everyone's mind. Now, a lot of times, some of the products I offer are based on what a client's capability is in terms of affording, monthly premiums. But I've noticed that people are going more on the conservative side. They're hoarding a little bit more cash, and I don't blame them, because a lot of them are. Not every client that I have has a secure job that they know they will get paid. Something like Alejandra and Jack mentioned. An income every month. Some of them, their jobs are iffy. Some of them, their jobs are very secure. So it's definitely affected. It's also from the time I have conversations with clients and to the time that we sort of have come to a point where they have my recommendation to the time where they actually move forward, that time has definitely expanded. It used to be a month, maybe 2 months, now it can be 3 or 4 months. There's so many different variables.
Right.
So yeah, that's my take on it.
And Monica, let me ask you, because you have, I think, a little bit of a different perspective, and maybe a little bit similar to what I have, and in the sense that you work with a lot of business owners and maybe even small business owners. Have you seen your business affected, positive, negative, or what are you seeing?
Well, I just see a lot. I mean, businesses really need to change because of the environment. They have to change the way they do things, because the guy down the store who's got a guy down the street who's got a shop doesn't have people driving by it anymore. There aren't people out and about like they used to be. So your storefront isn't the store window that brings the clients in anymore. And everyone is on Facebook or Twitter or somewhere on some social media. And then they're also online looking for, how do I buy my groceries online? How do I buy my clothes online? How do I buy all these things online? Because I'm not going to leave my house. Or what can I do? And can I get online so I don't have to leave my house? So business is like, I don't know what the name of Jack's company is, but a business like that sells all kinds of things online, people are starting to look at, and those businesses are actually taking off because people don't have to leave home. And there is also, Amazon is really slow, and the postal system is really slow right now because they're so overwhelmed. So people are looking at, where can I get the products that I want faster? And as much as we're online, digital ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, being a face in the marketplace online digitally has become something that's not just on the side, maybe when I have time I'll do that. It's become, either you can have your business keep going, or you can't because you have no digital presence. And so it's actually become more of a must. And like you said, people are using Zoom, and people are not leaving their homes as often. So it's just something that people are going to have to learn how to do. Telemedicine is huge. People aren't going to the doctor. They don't want to be in the doctor's office. So we're talking to lots of integrative health practices and doctors about, okay, how do you put telemedicine in, and what are you doing with that? What does your website say? Because people don't want to go to the office. So where are the options for, how do I sign up for telemedicine? How do I sign up for an appointment with my tax guy? Because I don't want to go into the office. Or the office is closed and it doesn't say that online. So I drive all the way out to the office and it doesn't say online anywhere on their website that they're not open. Well, then I get there and I'm mad because they're not open. Well, where does it say on your website? Where does it say on your Facebook site? We are not open. This is what we're doing in the pandemic. And so it's really important that businesses get online and see what they're doing with their online presence. So that's pretty much how I see things have changed.
Yeah. And I'll tell you, by the way, maybe to bring a little bit of a counterpoint here, or at least a ray of hope, whatever. Some businesses are, in spite of all this very unfortunate health crisis, are actually benefiting. I actually have a client that owns a packing and shipping store. And because people are buying so much stuff online, she doesn't really do anything maybe on the delivery side, although she's got P.O. boxes. But a lot of times there's a percentage of that people need to return. And then when they're going to return it, they go to her because they either, destroyed the packaging, need to repackage it, or even just to do the actual shipping. So she has actually noticed an uptick in her business because people are, again, buying so much stuff online, and then there's a percentage they need to return. And maybe they're buying stuff that in the past they wouldn't have bought online, things like clothes or something that, again, maybe have a higher probability that it doesn't fit and you're going to have to return. So anyway, there's some businesses out there that are not obvious that are actually benefiting from this crisis. So I guess you take the good where you can get it.
Monika, I have a question, if I may.
Yeah.
You bring up a really good point about, people are not walking down the streets, walking into retail shops. What is your opinion about online competition? Because if it's just retail stores, let's say in Brooklyn where I live, then the competition is, small. in comparison to online, I can have competition from China, from India, from all over the world. So how do you think that's affected how people work online, and also how people advertise themselves online?
Well, I would say it depends on the niche, and it depends on, what the niche is. I have seen, like you're talking about, stores like right downtown where I live, there are some stores that are now using Facebook Live, and they're going on to Facebook, and they're going on to Twitter, and they're going on to YouTube, and they're going online, and they're making quick videos of people wearing some of the clothes and saying, here's what we have on special this week. You can come get this. If you go online and order it, we'll ship it to you. And so they're actually trying to sell their goods and their clothing and their jewelry and their shoes and things online. And they have found really, really good marketing on social media. And then they also are using email campaigns to send out a weekly email saying, here are the pictures, here's the video of what we have on sale right now. We have this many left. Whoever gets them kind of thing. And first come, first serve. And so that has been working really, really well for some of these companies. And now that we are open to a different level, people can actually go into the store, pick it up, but they can't try it on. So they have to take it home, try it on, and then if it doesn't fit, bring it back. And so that's become kind of a pain. So people don't want to really go shopping because they can't even try it on. So they drive down there and then have to drive back. So that has become a bit of a handful. So they just people would rather have it shipped to them. And so they're really using Facebook, Twitter, like I said, some YouTube, some email marketing to bring people to their social media sites so that they like, comment, and participate on their social media sites. And that has grown some of the businesses around here. Some of the businesses around here are using ads, and I'll see an ad that says, here's what we're doing for taking care of we're shipping. One of the people we'll give you, I can't remember what it said, a container of toilet paper with every order over $50 or something like that, because you couldn't get toilet paper. We'll give you, and so people were getting creative about how they were doing their marketing. And another place, as you drove by, and on their marquee and on all their Facebook said, I can't remember, it was something to do with, we'll give you spend this much, we'll give you this much in you spend $50, we'll give you $10 for your next order. So the next time you come into the store. So people are looking for creative ways in how to do things. There was another one that was doing like a bingo game. They were going online and this was during the pandemic and when we were all on lockdown, but they were playing bingo online. And the people who won got gift cards and gift certificates to their place because whoever they could get to play bingo online with them. And then they were talking about what are the products that they have. And then they would say a couple things. And if you like our Facebook site, if you do this, if you do these things, we'll give you another spot on your bingo card. And so they were doing online bingo because people were bored. So people were creating really interesting ways to market themselves in a new way digitally. And so I know you said, are they using ads? What are they using? And I would say Facebook marketing has been really big simply because there's billions of people on Facebook. And it depends on the age generation of what the product is that's being used, because our generation, well, I guess it just depends on what age you are, but the 30-year-olds to 50, 60-year-olds are really on Facebook. Anybody younger isn't on Facebook. They're on Instagram or they're on Snapchat or they're on something different. So it just depends. And I see a lot less people on Twitter than are on Facebook, but it just, and it depends. LinkedIn is a great place to look for people also. Now that's a whole different platform. YouTube is a great place to put information because so many people are sitting on their computers watching YouTube videos. So those little commercials that pop up in the YouTube video is a great place to be right now. And
let me ask
I
a quick
foresee,
question,
go ahead.
For you, Monica, or for anybody that wants to answer, because I've heard of a lot of platforms that are familiar with. And I only use YouTube and LinkedIn. I'm the last person on the planet that doesn't have Facebook, not because of any boycott, not because of anything. I just don't have time. But nobody has mentioned Groupon. Is Groupon around? Is it relevant? What happened to Groupon?
You know, Groupon is still there, and if unless somebody else wants to answer, I've been talking a lot. Does somebody else want to answer that? No.
I mean,
Okay.
I don't
Not
agree.
not my niche. I'll actually listen and become educated.
So Groupon is still there. And the problem with Groupon, Sal, is that what I notice as a digital marketer is, let's say you have a massage therapist. They sign up for Groupon. They give away their massage session for 50% off. So if the massage session, just to keep it simple, is $100, they give it away at 50% off. Immediately, they lost $50. Then Groupon takes half of that $50, so they get $25. So they get 25% of the $100 that they normally charge for it. Then what Groupon does is Groupon will take the money from the client, and if that client never shows up at that massage place, the massage place never gets a penny. Groupon gets all of the money, and the massage place never gets a penny of it. And Groupon will not give the massage or the spa the information about all the people who have bought it. So they get no information. They have no contact until that person shows up in their store. And let's say I decide I don't want a massage anymore. I call Groupon and I say, I don't want that massage anymore. I'd really like to go golfing instead. Can I use that money to go golfing? Groupon will say yes. So immediately the massage place loses that money and won't get it anyway. And I can shift my money that I paid for the massage into my next golfing. And Groupon doesn't care because Groupon got the money. Groupon has the money, but the massage doesn't get the money. Now the golfing place is in the same place. If I never go golfing, I have enough time to change that to something else. But the golf place never sees the money either, nor do they ever see who in the world has signed up for this. So they never get the contact until the contact shows up for them. So what businesses are noticing is that they're really losing a ton of money on Groupon, and daily deals are a much better way to create a revenue stream. Now, a daily deal, the business has to pay in advance for it. But with the daily deal, the business gets all control over who signs up, when they sign up, and their information. Then what they can do is, let's say Jack signs up for this golfing. Well, for my golf company, I get Jack's phone number and his email. And if Jack never shows up, I still have his information and I can get a hold of Jack and I can say, Jack, you never showed up. We know you paid us. We'd love for you to show up, or once they have Jack's information, they can then say, well, Jack came golfing and he got this, he came for a one-time 9 holes. Now we have a special for 18 holes and a cart. So now we're going to upsell Jack for the next upsell to get Jack to come for 18 holes and a cart. And so it's a completely different thing. And we have daily deals that we have conversations with people who are doing Groupon all the time, and they don't even understand what's happening in this process and how much they're missing out on because they can't remarket anything. And if they have a pixel, does everybody know what a pixel is? No. If they've pixeled their landing page, so someone goes to this deal that Alejandra has, and they go to the deal on the landing page. As soon as they go on that page on their computer, if you've pixeled the page, you drop a pixel in their browser, in their actual computer, then you can follow them around with ads for remarketing or retargeting for 30 to 90 days. And then they'll begin to see your ads and your information over and over and over and over again, because we know that we have to talk to somebody 6 to 8 times before they see us and know, like, and trust us. So that's a great way to stay in front of your clients if you have your websites pixeled, or your Facebook, or wherever you're marketing.
Monica, can I take you with me all over the place?
That is very brother. Very.
I was going to say, very similar to Monica, I have a situation here where I live. I have a lot of my local clients are in the food services industry, so coffee shops, restaurants, not like higher end, more like fast food type places, where they are heavily involved with Grubhub, Seamless, and services like that. And while I will order directly from them whenever I'm going to order food, because I know Grubhub and Seamless takes a cut.
Yeah.
But what I also realized, very similar to Groupon, is they take a huge chunk of the money.
Yeah.
So what has happened is if an item costs $5 directly from them, if you were to go on Grubhub Seamless, they're gonna have to charge $7 or $8 just because to make up for the fees. But what happens is a lot of people go on Grubhub and Seamless and they think this place charges $7 or $8, and the truth is their real charge is $5, but they don't have a choice. Otherwise, they lose money. So it's a very similar issue that I've seen from my. So we have had to figure out ways of how do we get traffic to their online pages, to their websites, Facebook, any of their social media accounts, without going through a third party that will just eat up with fees and fees and fees. You bring up a phenomenal point, Monica.
Yeah.
Hey, we're bumping up here into like the 45-minute mark, but let me switch gears and ask one last question before we call it a day. And this is maybe for Alejandra or Jack, whoever wants to answer, or both. Because I think one of you was making the point in one of our previous sessions that you usually tell people to start with your system maybe as a part-time basis, keep their day job, and kind of ease into it, and then maybe eventually you can build up your client base and go full time. My question is, if somebody were to come to you right now and say, hey, listen, I'm unemployed, no fault of my own, whatever, because of the coronavirus, the place that I was working has closed and I don't have a job, would you still recommend for them to start with your system, understanding that it's going to be difficult at the beginning, or would you say, hey, listen, focus on getting yourself a job first, because this takes a little bit of a time to build up, and then do that first, and then come back to me in a month or two where you have a steady income, and then we can start you off on our system and build you up? Well, which kind of strategy would you follow?
You want to go first?
Go ahead, Jack, if you want.
Well, either way, that's fine. But yeah, it would really depend. I would think now on the person, what their financial situation is, whether they're in a position to go ahead and get started. I mean, in my case, I started kind of slow with it, but I had a full-time business. But somebody that is unemployed, I would probably encourage them, again, with our products, is become a customer, try the products, because there's no new money required. It's old money. It's money your family's budgeted for. So, try the products, see how you like them. And, but I would encourage them, if money's tight, to actively, find something, some form of employment to tide them over and pay their bills in the meantime. But in my case, I made $505.85 my first month, just sticking my toe in and poking it with a stick, and ended up making probably averaging 5, 6, 7 hours a week, made just under $40,000 my first year, part-time. And then, it started to grow. Then I was able to leave or drop off some advertising accounts and so forth. But I would probably not tell anybody to just let's go full bore here, unless unless they have a very strong sphere of influence, unless they're highly motivated, and again, they have some dough to maybe tide them over in the meantime. But again, it would kind of depend.
So yes, just to add to what Jack is saying, I think my first question is, what are you looking into making every month to sustain? What do you need to start? Like, what is the very minimum that you need? And I think if I don't have that, then I cannot answer what is it required for us to do. So I have a group of young fellows, if you may, that are between New York and Connecticut, that we're doing door to door. So started working with me now, and we're doing door to door before, and they cannot do door to door anymore, energy sales. So their income was completely shut. So I sat down with them and I told them, okay, let's look at the compensation plan and what do you need? And this is how much I need to make. Okay, great. Well, let's look into what is it requested at a minimum that we do for you to generate that type of income. And they surpassed it. And so they didn't have to go get a job that they didn't want to have, because at the end of the day, even though they were working for a door-to-door company, they had a lot of independence, but they're extremely go-getters. So to Jack's point, they had that personality of I'm already out there. And even though our company doesn't allow door-to-doors or wholesales, as a matter of fact, that's against our policy, they already had a portfolio of clients that have built through the years where they already, had a warm market with where they could go to, in a warm market type of way, which is what we allow to do. So I think it really depends on a few things. The first and foremost is, what are your needs? So I have people that had never did anything. So I have with other companies or other businesses, I had students from college that never went to get a job because they've been working with me from a year or so before they even left college. So they had already built something up. I mean, I've seen people build up tremendous positions in a couple of months, and I've seen people do the same thing in 16 years. And I think that depends on personality traits, depends on prior experience, depends on your sphere of influence, like Jack said, your contact list. It really depends on your hunger level as well. But I think the conversation always needs to, I would never advise anybody to quit their job, right? But if I have somebody, right? But if I have, even when I know they probably should at this point, quit their job, I still don't advise ever, because I just think at the end of the day, I'm your mentor. If you come and you ask me for a question, I'll try to mentor you to the best of my ability, but I'm nobody's boss. Nobody's financial advisor. I leave that to Yona. So, I don't do those type of things. So, but I will mentor you to the best of my ability and what I've seen in, the 17 years that we've been with ACN. So, but I cannot have that conversation unless I know what your end goal is, at least immediate. This is what I need on a month-to-month basis to pay my bills and to not suffer from my lack of income. And there are ways. I mean, I've seen people like Jack said, make 4 figures in a month. I've seen people make 0 in a month. It really depends on everybody's effort level. It's like the gym, right? I always say our compensation plan works if you work it. So how much are you willing to? But my conversation with everybody, even with anybody that starts in my team brand new, even if they have a job, what is your immediate goal for you to make your time worthwhile, even a very part-time spare time basis. Like I did it 3.5 years part-time spare time, but at the end I also want to know, like 5 years from now, what is your goal? What would you like to have residually? And then we can move from there, because if I can't quantify the goals, I find that to me goals of whatever level need to be quantified. If I can't quantify it, it's a win. So to me, I work it backwards, right? That's what how my conversation will be.
And from a financial advisor,
I know, and unfortunately, and I think we're just starting to see it. It's not as bad as I think it's going to get yet, but because we've had all these government programs and all these government incentives. But I think, unfortunately, over the next 6 months, we're going to have a lot of people unemployed that will be back to maybe what Yona said at the very beginning. We're going to have some people that are unemployed and looking for sources of income. And that's just the way it's going to be, unfortunately, and it's going to take a while. It reminds me a lot of, I still remember when I was working back in 2007, 2008. It seems like a long time ago, but now it seems like a replay. Where you're going to have all these people unemployed and everybody's looking for work, and there's not enough work to go around. So I think we might have a couple of rough. I don't even know. You got 6 months or a year to. Forward looking, maybe by the time we get to the end of this year. So just wanted to get your thoughts on that, because I think you're going to start to see that if you haven't seen it yet. But again, maybe between now and the end of the year. Okay. All right, folks, well, we're really up to almost like a whole hour here. So does anybody want to have like a last comment, last question before we call it a day and do it again in 2 weeks?
I would just like to add to what you said, Sal, and to what Alejandra said about advice. Advice has to be given on an individual by individual basis. It can't be given. There's no, oh, you need this and that's it, because everyone's situation is different. Everyone's goals are different. Needs, wants, and all that is different. But it's very hard to give like a general. It really should be like Alejandro said, I need to know something about you.
Right.
I just wanted to reiterate that.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, listen, thank you all very much for joining me. Like I said, this has been one of the longer sessions, but I hope everybody enjoyed it and everybody got a benefit out of it. Don't forget to put your contact information in the chat if you haven't done so already. And then I will see everybody in 2 weeks on Monday at 2 p.m. and we'll keep the conversation going.
Great.
You
Thanks.
will.
Bye-bye, guys.
All right. Bye-bye.
Jack, awesome seeing you. Yona, awesome. Bye, Sal.
Good to see you all too. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Thank you all.